One thing I do want to go over while we're still here is I want to talk a little bit about the options in VisualCAD. So you need to, any CAD or CAM program, always get an understanding of what the options are or the default settings that you can adjust. So we're looking at the VisualCAD options menu here. We'll just go over some of these. Start with the System tab. You got your backup functions. You got a number of other things, just things you don't normally change. But this is an interesting one here. Use pre-selection highlights. You may have brought in a solid model. Let's just check that. And you see here that you can actually select, it'll highlight edges of the model automatically. Now there's maybe some cases where that may not be appropriate, so you can go in here and turn that off. Okay, let's turn that off. So now if you select, you see that you're selecting actual surface geometry. You're not highlighting any of the edges. Let's go back over here. Let's go to the Display tab. These just basic functions here, you may probably won't want to mess with those. One thing I like to change is the view orientation animation. Right now, if you'll see, you go out of that. If we want to go to the top view, it's instant. And a lot of cases when you first open VisualCAD, I believe this is actually checked, where you actually have a speed. So let's pick OK. So you'll see that it rotates it around very, very slowly. I don't like that at all. So we're going to go back in and go back to display, and I'm going to uncheck that. Or you could just, speed it up faster or slower. But I typically leave it just unchecked. So instantaneous. Okay. So let's see what else we got up here. Okay, let's go ahead into color.
Talk about the tolerance. The tolerance is what is more important, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. Typically, you won't mess with the colors. The grid, you may want to adjust the grid size and the distance between the grid lines. Typically, in an inch file, I have it set to 12-inch grid, so that's the size of the grid. And then you'll have the distance between, say, inch increments or quarter-inch increments, however you want to work there. Lighting, you probably won't need. Dimension, you probably won't need. Tolerance in units is important. So if you import geometry, it will come in based on a tolerance that you have set here. Okay. Typically, you want to set this to a pretty tight tolerance. Okay, that's pretty good as a geometry tolerance. Your curve hookup tolerance, you see that I have it set pretty liberally to 0.1. This will come into play if you're merging curves together. You may want to loosen this up if you know you have some small gaps in some curves and you're trying to merge them and it just won't merge. Go into here and just change your curve hookup tolerance to a larger value and then merge them, and you'll see that it'll probably work for you. So that one's relatively important. And then obviously modeling units, etc. Have we got any other questions, Joe? I'm going to go into doing some basic CAM operations on
Yeah, there was a question on some basic CAD. Are you going to be showing that, Don? Some simple CAD construction, curves, using curves?
Yeah, I was going to do basically some editing, some curve geometry editing